How you doing? My name is Spencer, aka Agent Mulder, and welcome to the War Room. Today in this Gears Tactics Tips and Tricks video, we're going to discuss how to take down the Corpser. This challenging boss battle can put you through the ringer, but we got the quick video to show you how to take it down. As always, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe for a lot more. And keep in mind, there will be a few spoilers ahead. But for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy this quick Gears Tactics Tips video. Before jumping into this boss battle, make sure every member on your team has a long-range weapon, which means no scouts can be brought along for this mission. Their shotguns will simply not be able to reach the target's face. I brought along my usual team of Gabe, Sid, Michaela, and Cole. Gabe being essentially important in this battle because of his ability to heal and his stem grenade. Hopefully by now, you've been focusing heavily on upgrading his surgeon and combat medic abilities. You're going to need him in this fight. Make sure as well, if you're running Michaela or heavy support, that either one of these characters have the most powerful attachments for their weapons when going into this fight. At the start of this battle, the Corpser will be blocking his face with his legs. The only way to blast open these legs is either with your grenades or with the grenade launcher that you'll be able to pick up from a few boomers that will show up in the middle of this fight. One of the most important things to keep in mind throughout this entire fight is keep your team together. There will be quite a few times, given the fact of how this boss battle goes, that you will be tempted to split your team up in groups of two. Try to avoid this at all costs. At the beginning of the boss battle, every single time the Corpser lifts up his legs to show his face, there'll be 1 to 2 different red lanes that will display on the map. Anything caught within these red lanes, come the next turn, will immediately get stomped on and hit with heavy damage when he slams his legs into the ground and sends out a sharp shockwave that could easily kill or damage anything in its path by half. I recommend always having at least 2 of your soldiers play defense, while your remaining 2 Gears troopers focus on the Corpser's face. If you're running with Michaela, have her job be solely aiming for the Corpser's face using precision shots, bullseye, and any other powered attachments that you have for her. She will easily be the one doing the most damage in this fight, unless of course you have a heavy support nearby who's also heavily outfitted. How this whole battle went for me is that Michaela would always be on the offensive fighting the Corpser, followed closely by Cole doing damage to the Corpser as well, while Sid attacked a locust that would either fly in from reinforcements or pop out emergence holes, and Gabe would also be assisting him. Once the Corpser shows his face and does his first damage phase, an emergence hole will pop up on the map. It is very important that you close these emergence holes at all costs. I would go so far to even say that don't even bother wasting your grenades on the Corpser's legs. The reason why is that yes, if you're able to damage these legs, they will open up to do some extra damage to the Corpser, but there are just too many things that need to line up for this to happen correctly, especially later on in the fight when you're just absolutely surrounded by enemy foes. Not to mention the fact that these legs, once closed again, will return to full health. And given the fact how, depending upon what you have unlocked for your characters as their specializations, your grenades will take anywhere between 3 to 4 turns to regenerate. So save all your grenades for either bunched up enemies or emergence holes. Once you've closed the first emergence hole, continue your assault on the Corpser. Now you'll begin to notice that every time the Corpser ends one of its damage phases, it'll shoot out landmines out of its chest. These landmines, believe it or not, will actually be more useful to you than to the enemy. The reason why I say this is because since your team is bunched up together, these landmines will always land on the outskirts of your team. How many landmines you'll be dealing with depends on how far along you are in the boss battle. These landmines will automatically detonate anything that steps on their path, both friend and foe. I cannot tell you how many times I found these landmines very useful. Say for example, you'll always be dealing for upwards of around 4 wretches and a grenadier when enemy reinforcements fly in, that every single time at least 1 to 3 wretches would run in, activate one of the landmines and blow up, automatically killing them. These landmines are an excellent defense for you to use against the enemy. You will be dealing with at least 2 boomers throughout this fight. These are the most dangerous out of all the reinforcements you're going to deal with. The first boomer you'll run into will come out of the first emergence hole that shows up on the map at the beginning of this fight. Have a couple of your troopers set Overwatch on the first emergence hole that shows up. Kill the boomer at all costs. Don't worry about anything else happening, just kill that thing as quickly as you can. Once the boomer is dead, grab his gun. You're better off, through my experience, using that grenade launcher on groups of enemies that will rush you if, for example, there's no landmines to slow them down, or if your team's caught in a tight spot. The second boomer will show up either flown in by enemy reinforcements or pop up out of another emergence hole. Once you've taken out the Corpser's first eye, the flow of the battle will change a little bit. Is that the Corpser will now have 2 red lanes right before its next damage phase. Now these red lanes are actually again proven to be more useful for you than they are for the enemy. The same with the landmines. All enemy forces will make a run for you at a particular spot. These red lanes will always show up wherever your team is last located. Simply move your team out of these lanes and use the Corpser's own damage phase to wipe out enemy reinforcements for you. Once you've destroyed the Corpser's second eye, it will lead to the final damage rage phase, where now your team's gonna have to shoot a large pipe hanging off of a crane to crush the corpser when it lands on it. Now at this stage of the fight, because the corpser is blind, it will go into a rage. It will begin to set up those red lanes of damage more often and will try to smash everything in its path. Not to mention the fact that more enemy reinforcements will continue to fly in. You can pretty much ignore these enemies by this stage of this fight. It should only take 1 to 2 turns to finally shoot that large pipe if all of your allies are shooting at it at once. Again, because the corpser will have those red lanes of damage, just simply lead enemy forces into those lanes and let the corpser do the job for you. Keep your team moving as a group at all times, and you'll be fine taking down this boss.
Alright.
That's how you take down the corpser. I hope you found this video helpful in our quick Gears Tactics tips, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe for a lot more. We'll be doing another Gears Tactics Tips and Tricks video part 3 very soon, so be sure to stick around. Until then, I'll see you all next time.
Fuck that was! You owe me an answer. I don't owe you shit.